Okay, so I wanted to do a training on events. This is something that we're going to really be heavily focusing on, especially moving into the summer. So basically, I first want to talk about why we're going to be focusing on events. So we all know we just came out of COVID. Everybody has spent an entire year being virtual. It is one of the blessings of the industry that we're in. We can work a 100% virtual business. However, people are tired of being virtual. Now, I am not dismissing the threat of COVID or anybody who is nervous about being around people because of COVID at all, but we are going to be seeing in person events pick up heavily because people are just desperate to feel like they're doing anything besides sitting at their house on a virtual screen, computer, phone, what have you. So, this is going to be something that not only is our company really heavily focusing on, I just got word from Britt early this morning that we're planning another regional event. Like Q Sciences is moving into fierce momentum when it comes to events. And I want our team to also be on the forefront of that. What's basically going to be happening right now is you're going to see the people who start doing events have their business growing and growing and growing and growing. And the people who stick to virtual, you might see it slow down because people are going to be opting to go to the events. It's something to do, it's in person connection, it's seeing real people in real life in real time. I don't want us to have that lag. I want us to have the momentum that's going to come from being some of the first people doing events. Events also call for action because you have people in person, right? When we're talking to people on Instagram or Facebook or text message, right? They have that opportunity to not respond to your message, right? Or think about it for a long time. Versus when you have someone who's in a room with you and you're telling them in person and they're getting really excited, and then you follow it up with an incentive, you kind of have this immediate call to action. And then you also just have people who just want to get their hands on products and actually try them, right? It's one thing to hear about a product and hear about how great it is. It's another thing to actually try that product and hold it and see it in front of you and want to leave having that delivered to your own house, right? So, we are going to be focusing on events and having fun and doing them in person. And this is something that is very different from what I did before. Even before the pandemic, I never really had a business that was in person events. I didn't. And so I want to focus on being there for you guys as much as I possibly can in doing events. We are obviously a very widespread team. We are not just local. In fact, my local part of my team is pretty small. We're very widespread across the nation. And so I've been talking with Brooke Lloyd a lot, and other people who did a lot of Q events before the pandemic, and just really trying to figure out like how can I be the most helpful for you guys in teaching events and helping with events and also being everywhere all at the same time. And so this is kind of what I come down to. So, in growing your event, I want you guys to work in steps. Okay. So, most of you guys, I don't think have super large local teams. I think probably our Oregon team with Marissa is probably the one that has the most local people. And then also Ansley and Sabrina, they've already been doing in person events, you guys. So that's also another one. A lot of you guys are going to be starting from scratch with events. We in Sacramento, California, are just doing our first event this month. So, this is something that everybody is starting on step one. I don't want you to feel like you're super behind. Really, nobody's been doing in person events yet. So, these are the 4 steps that I want you to try and loosely follow. Step one is identifying any local team that you have. Do you have a local team? I'm going to tell you right now, if there's one person within an hour of you, that's a local team. Okay. Anything else than that, that's great. But if you have one person local to you, like Keisha and Whitney, I don't even know if they live together or not together, but you know what I mean, local. That is a team. Okay. So I want you to just identify who is within an hour of me on my team. Or maybe if you don't have anyone within an hour, who's within 3 or 4 hours, right? If you're doing a 1 day event. If you don't have a local team, start small. You're going to start really small. When I say small, you're going to plan a coffee date with 3 of your friends. Okay, that's an event, you guys. I think so often we see these huge events with convention and regional and everything like that. And we forget that getting together with one other person at a coffee date, that's an event. Start small and grow larger. If you don't have a very big local team, Find one person that you're going to meet for coffee, have them bring a friend, right? There you go. When they sign up, next time you meet for coffee, everybody brings one friend. Now it's 6 people, right? It's going to grow fast. So start wherever you're at, even if it means you're starting small. That's step one. Okay. Step two is you're building on that event, and it's now a small event with roughly 10 ish people. That's step two. Okay. Step three is you're building into a medium event, which would be considered about 25 people. This is probably still in your own house. Okay. I'm trying to have like 25 people in my own house on the 24th. Okay. Because we have about roughly half of that in a local team, and everybody's going to try to bring one person. Okay. That is a medium event. When you can build to step four and have a large event that is 50 confirmed people or more, I will literally fly out to your event. Okay. Now, hear me loud and clear on this. I would love to come to everybody's events, even if it's 2 people. I can't, it's not possible, also not financially smart. But if you can get 50 people in a room, I don't care if it's at a local coffee shop, in your backyard, in your garage, whatever, I will come out for the weekend. And here is how I want to do it. I want to fly in on a Friday, and I will host a team training for you. If you are someone like Marissa, where you have a larger team, this would probably be an executive and above training, meaning I'm going to buy you guys dinner. We're going to sit down, even if it's 3 people, and we're going to have a team training, executive and above. If you're a really new team and you are getting 50 people there and you don't have a bunch of executives, this is just going to be your personally sponsored. Okay. We want to take the opportunity to give people some kind of incentive for a team training where we're getting together for the camaraderie. Okay. Day 2 is going to be Saturday. That's when we would host our event. Okay. So we would have people come to an event. I'm going to go into details about what that's going to look like in a minute, but that would be day 2 on Saturday. Anyone who signs up on Saturday is a new enrollment. So Sunday, before I leave, I will host coffee and donuts for an in-person launch with the new people who signed up at that event the day before. So it'll be a 3-day thing. So anytime that you can get 50 people confirmed to an event, this is like really serious 50 people. This isn't, I started a Facebook group and I invited 50 random strangers on Facebook. This is like confirmed 50 people are coming to the event. You just let me know 2 weeks notice. That's all I really need. I just need to be able to book a flight and get a hotel room. And I will come out to your event and we will do an executive and above or team training on Friday. I'll buy y'all dinner. Saturday, we will do an opportunity meeting. And then Sunday, before I leave, we will do coffee and donuts for a live launch. If we can get this system down pat, you guys, we could be doing them every weekend in different areas of the country. And once more of us are hitting silver and gold, we could divide and conquer and be having so many in-person events by the end of this year. These in-person events will turn into even larger events, okay? I was talking to Brooke Lloyd at Silver Summit, and she was like, if you can get 100 people in the room, I'll come out, right? The more people we get, the higher up people we're going to get, right? If we could get 100 people in a room, I bet Jake Spencer would come, seriously, because that's a big event, the larger that we grow. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to start small. I'm going to recap real quick. Step 1, you're going to identify your local team. You're going to get together with like 1 to 5 people. Okay. Step 2, you're going to have a small event, which is probably in your house, and it's like 10 people. Step 3 is going to be a medium event, probably still in your house. It's going to be up to 25 people. Step 4 is when I'm going to come out. You're going to have about 50 people. And we probably at that point would need to do it. Like I just went to lunch today at Old Town Pizza for anybody who's near me. And they have like a lot of restaurants have those rooms, right? Where they're like party rooms. You can rent them out, that type of thing. So it would probably be in a space like that unless someone has a really big house or like a coffee shop or Danielle actually is talking to her this morning. She is talking to a local health and wellness store in her area. That's a large store. We're already talking this morning how it would be a great place to actually host an event because there's room in the store. It's a health and wellness setting, right? So we can figure out where that event's going to be, but step 4 with 50 plus people is when I'm going to come out, okay? Is there any questions on that portion of this? Okay, cool. And we're going to keep growing from there. So here's what you need. Okay. So you need to be prepared for an event. Okay. So here's the deal that I always try and be brutally honest with you. You need to have samples. Okay. If you're going to host an event, this event should be where people can come and get their hands on trying pretty much any product that has a taste. Okay. Which means if you're going to be hosting an event, if you need to team up with people to split these costs, great. But you should have all the hemp oils to try. You should have the hemp waters to sample. You should like basically just buy a hemp kit, right? You can buy a hemp kit, comes with all the stuff in it, the creams, the roll-ons, and the oils for people to try. You should have at least one flavor of Q Sport, okay? And the hemp waters. They don't need to try all the flavors, but you should have one flavor for them to try of the hemp waters. You need to have samples for people. Things that you don't sample, Q Core. We're not sampling Q Core. Have the bag out so they can see what it is. Nobody's going to sample Q Core and be like, oh my gosh, I feel like a new person. Like that takes time, right? But you need to have the demonstrable products out for people to try. Okay. If you can't do that, don't host an event yet. Okay. You need to be able to have people try the product. So if you can't have all the product there, you need to figure out how to condense it down. And maybe you just do a bunch of smaller events where you're not having a bunch of people. Because if you're going to have a bunch of people, you should have a sample bar, if you will, of things to try. Now, this doesn't mean you're giving everybody a whole bottle of hemp. This doesn't even mean that you need to give everybody a whole stick of Q twists. When I used to do like samples for my last company, I would mix up one packet of the drink and I would have those little sample cups and people would get to sample it. So just know, like, could you go all out and everybody gets a whole stick of Q twist? Absolutely. Could you also have one stick of Q twist and pour it into little sample cups? Also, yes. Okay. You don't need to break the bank. We're not giving people a whole serving of hemp. We're giving them a drop on a spoon to try it, right? For people who are at convention, that's even how we sampled it at convention. We weren't getting a whole dose of hemp. We were getting a little drop on a spoon for us to just be able to taste the flavor. Same thing with like greens. I don't know if our green silhouettes will be out by the time you guys are starting to do this, but people don't need a whole serving of the greens. People need a little sample. Okay. So when I say samples, you're not giving away full size product. Don't think that you are, but just have stuff on hand to where you can demonstrate a wide variety of what we offer. Okay. The thing that you don't want to do is have an event where you're not giving any samples, because then people are going to be wondering, well, what does it taste like? Well, how do I know if I'm going to like it? Right? Because it's an in-person event. It's different. People have different standards for an in-person event than they do for an online purchase. Okay. We get asked a lot for samples, just even on online purchases. So for sure, if they're coming to your party, you should have samples. Okay. You also need to have a location. Okay. If this is in your house, that's awesome. Or a coffee shop or a park date or something like that. You can make a super cute park event where people come and bring their kids and you have a cute little picnic table set up with some little products for people to sample, and some little maybe like printed out pages of what things are, something like that. You need to have the ability to have some sort of a presentation. Okay. So either this means you're hooking a laptop up to like your TV, like the HDMI cord where you can share it on your TV, or you have a smaller group and so you're just doing it on a laptop. If you are doing it someplace like a park or like a coffee shop, you're printing out something for them to tangibly hold and see what you're talking about. But you need to have some form of a visual for people while you're doing a presentation. And you need to have someone who is going to give this presentation, okay? We have had so much focus on opportunity calls and presentations of being executive and above. You should be doing presentations. If you are executive and above and you haven't done a presentation yet, that should be on your list of things to do this month. You should practice your presentations because an event is going to be an in-person presentation. Exactly what we talk about on our opportunity calls, like you're going to verbatim say that in your in-person setting at an event. Okay. Now, if you're not comfortable doing that, I highly suggest doing a lot of opportunity calls virtually before you do an in-person event. Because here's what I will tell you, you're not going to get people to come to an in-person event twice. They're not going to do it. They're not going to come once and be like, oh, this totally isn't my thing, and then come again next time when you're more polished. So practice in advance doing opportunity calls and talking about this whole spiel before you do your in-person event. My point of all of this is to say you need to be organized. If you're going to throw an in-person event, this is not a slapped together in 2 days, like 99-cent tablecloth and just like nothing there. Like you got to have it organized, okay? Represent the company well. Practice what you're going to say. Have some products to sample. Have a visual presentation that you're projecting somewhere or a printed out one. And have something have like some lemonade or, some lemonade and cookies, or like our event that we're doing on the 24th. Each ambassador is bringing a drink, like a non-alcoholic or a bottle of wine and an appetizer. Do it like that. Partner up with your people and have your people each bring something. So there's a little bit of something extra than just them getting sat down and preached at about Q Sciences. Okay, make it fun. I would also suggest a giveaway for people who are bringing a guest. Okay, this could be something as small as a sleep spray, you guys. If you have 3 people and you want to do a giveaway, split that sleep spray each way. That's like $5 a person, and do a giveaway of a sleep spray. Anybody who brings a guest gets entered into that giveaway. Okay, so you're doing your event, and on your event, you're saying anyone who brings a guest gets entered into a giveaway. Okay, it could be super small, like a sleep spray. If you have a really, really big event, maybe you're doing a hemp oil. Okay. If you invite me out to your event, I'll bring something for a giveaway. So if it's 50 plus people, I'll bring something to do a giveaway for you guys. So something like that. So how you're inviting people to this. So you're going to invite people to an in-person event the same way you're going to invite people to an online opportunity call. You're going to send them messages. You're going to send them voice memos. Maybe you're seeing them in person and it's family, or you're seeing them at church. But you're going to orchestrate this over a Facebook event page. That is the easiest way that I know of. Someone can correct me if I'm wrong, but Facebook events, you basically can create the event for the specific date and time. You can plug in a quick little, I'll pull ours up. I'll read it to you guys, what our event says. Oops. So our event, where's it at? It's not showing. Can anybody else see our event? Let me go in the group real quick. I want to read it to you guys so you kind of have an idea of what to say. Here we go. Okay, so our event says, come join us for an evening of appetizers and drinks as we share about a new venture we're really excited about. There will be a sample bar available for you to try out some of our most popular products, as well as a small presentation on why we chose this partnership and time for questions. And then there's a little star emoji and it says, bring a guest and get entered in to win a prize. Super simple. People who are part of your local team can invite people straight from this Facebook group. People are RSVPing straight to this Facebook group. And if you have any additions to add information wise, everyone is getting notified in one place. Okay. This is where you're going to confirm with me that 50 people are coming to your event. Okay. That's it. Right now, we have 9 people going. 4 people are maybes. 35 people are invited. So you get, I know everybody probably knows this, but you get all of these. It's organized for you, and it's one spot for everybody local to participate in the same thing. Any questions on that? Okay. So I want you guys to figure out step 1.
Mandy, I have a super quick question if you don't mind.
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, my only question is like with the Facebook event, I don't know, and maybe you're going to get to this, but like what kind of conversations would have already been had with these people if we're inviting them, since we want to know that it's serious. And like, I think the Facebook event is like the best way to invite people, but sometimes it can be like people just start inviting everyone, and then it could be the situation where it's like, are these people all really coming,
Right,
so
totally. So really this should be like for me, I've been talking to some people who have been like kind of on the fence that live locally to me. So they've really already heard of Q and maybe they've even come to like a live presentation, but they just haven't necessarily pulled the trigger. And so I've gone to them and said, "Hey, I know you've been kind of interested. A couple of my friends were actually doing like a little in-person presentation at my house. We're going to have some wine and appetizers. You should totally come and check it out. We're going to have samples. You can try some of the products, that type of a thing." If it's a first time reach out, I would maybe say you're not just immediately messaging them, "Oh, good, you're home. Thank you." My kid had practice today for baseball. And then we also had dinner going on the barbecue when he had to go to practice. And I had 2 calls back to back. And I was very concerned that my dinner was burning. So, anyways, if it was a first time reach out, I would maybe be messaging them like, "Hey, I'm not sure if you've seen what I've been up to. I recently partnered with this new up and coming health and hemp company. I'm really excited about it. A couple of my friends have actually put together an event that we're doing on the 24th at my house. We're just having a few people come over. We're going to snack and have some wine and just talk about the products and the different opportunity that you can have here. Would you ever be interested in coming?" Right? Now, if they're just like, "Sure," I wouldn't really consider that a hard RSVP. I would be like, "Awesome. Let me send you the Facebook invitation and maybe you could make sure that the date and time works for you." And then if they RSVP on the page, you're following up with them a week in advance. "Hey, am I still going to see you on Saturday? I'm so excited. Are you bringing a guest with you? If you bring a guest, you're actually going to get entered in to win a prize." Like it would be a multiple touch conversation. Does that make sense?
yes, thank you.
Does that answer your question?
Yes,
Okay.
1,000%.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Does anybody else have questions? Okay. So, what I want you guys to do is at least be in step 1 by the end of this month. Okay. So that doesn't mean you have to throw together an event by the end of this month, but I want you to be identifying who your local team is and talking to people about getting one planned for May. Okay. Now, if you're local to where I'm at in California, we already have an event that's being planned this month. You guys, we will take pictures of it. We will tell you how it went. We'll walk you through what we did after we do it. We also have a regional event that's going to be coming to California in May. If you are out of California, plan something for May. Okay, plan something. I gave options. So, what I did, and some of you guys are in there, and so you know what I'm talking about, but I put together a little Sacktown local chat on Telegram, and I added all of the people who were local to me in Sacramento, California. And I put a poll in there with 4 different options of dates. 2 of them were Sunday brunches, and 2 of them were Saturday evenings for wine and appetizers. That's what I did. For brunch, I was just gonna have like mimosas and some Costco pastries. Like, honestly, don't overthink it too much. The biggest thing is just having something there to make it a little like festive, have samples of your products, and be ready to do a presentation. That's it. If you can check those boxes off. Now, if you are in phase 1 and you're like, "Oh my gosh, I have nobody around me," maybe you're like Marissa minus the team and you live in the middle of nowhere and you're like, "What am I going to do because I'm the only person who lives here in Wyoming or something?" Grab a friend and go to coffee. That's your event. That's your first event. And when your friend signs up, then you're like, "Hey, we should do this again. Let's each bring a friend and we can talk to them about Q." And what's going to happen is you are not going to do a huge presentation for 2 people, right? It's going to be really casual and you guys are going to chit chat and they're probably going to ask questions, right? And as you're growing each time, you're going to get more and more comfortable about talking about this, right? If I went and jumped up on stage talking to 200 people about Q Sciences, I would probably poop my pants. But if you put me at coffee with 2 people where I'm just chit chatting about it, and then it's 10 people, and then it's 15 people, and then it's 25 people, and then when it gets to 50, I don't even have to do it because Mandy's going to come do it, right? That is a lot easier. So it's okay if you're starting in phase 1. If you're someone like Marissa and you do have a local team, you're pretty much going to probably hop into phase 2 and 3. But You guys are already a larger team. Most of you, like Marissa's already been presenting. So for her to do something like this, it's not going to be that large of a shift. She already knows how to do the presentation. She already has the small local team that they could go in together to each bring samples. Have not even talked to Marissa about this, but I'm just using her as an example. Marissa has herself, who's bronze. She has two elites on her team who all live local and they have multiple executives. She could be like, hey, someone bring their berry hemp, someone bring their mocha hemp, someone bring their cinnamon hemp. We'll sample out of that on little spoons. Who can bring Q Twist to sample? Who can bring Q Sport to sample? Like assign these products where Marissa's not fronting the whole thing and paying $400, right? They're piecing together some samples to put some things together. And then she's like, everyone bring one appetizer. I'll supply lemonade or something like that. And then there you go. There's an event. Who has the biggest house? That's where you're going to do it at. Make it simple. Don't overthink it too much. Just have those main pieces together. You have samples, you have a presentation, and you have a location. Now, the last thing that I want to talk about, this is going to be hit and miss and also entirely optional, is having some sort of incentive for people who are at that event. Okay, what does this mean? This means you talk to everyone. Marissa goes to everyone on her team and she says, hey, for people who sign up at the event, do you want to go halvesies? We each pitch in $10 to give them $20 off if they sign up at the event. This is not the night when they go home. This is not the next day. This is not by the following Friday. This is at the event. You have some form of a laptop or an iPad. People all have phones now. You have some way for them to sign up at the event. And if they sign up when they are physically there, they get something. It could be that you guys take $20 off. You match 10 and 10. It could be that you match 5 and 5 and you give them $10 off. Or maybe they get to add a sleep spray onto their order and you guys Venmo them to give it to them for free. Right? Or maybe you've stocked up on sleep sprays because we've had all of those different incentives. And so you have a billion of them. And so they're just going to get a sleep spray when they sign up. Have something that is enticing enough to where people want to sign up before they leave. Okay. So this is where you could definitely do 5 and 5 and give them $10 off. I will be honest. If someone was like, you could get $10 off if you sign up tonight, I'd probably be like, I don't know. I'm going to think about it. Like, make it good enough to where they don't want to leave that event without signing up. This incentive should be for ambassadors or customers who are doing 100 PV or more. Do not give away a free sleep spray for someone who just ordered a sleep spray. Okay, you're going to lose money. Be smart. Don't give away more money than you're making. That's always my biggest rule in network marketing. If you've been on my team for a while, you know that. I've always preached we never give away more money than we are making. Ever, ever, ever. There are going to be a million people who try and tell you they lost money network marketing. And I quite literally can't even imagine how they did that, except for the fact that maybe they were giving away more money than they were making. So don't be giving away $20 off of a $17 sleep spray. Okay. Use common sense when it comes to the incentives and make it a good amount. It's 100 PV for a customer or an ambassador sign up. I feel like that's the easiest way to do it. But you're going to have some kind of incentive for them to sign up on the spot because you want the urgency, right? Think about when you go into a store and they're having a 1-day sale. Well, I guess most of us haven't been in stores recently, but you get what I'm saying. When something's like buy one, get one free, and you're like, oh, but if I come back, is it still going to be on sale, right? And so you have that urgency to get it right then, right? You want to have that urgency because people are never going to be as excited as they are when they're there in the room at that event and you've been pumping them up and you have people who are sharing about their experiences, right? So you want something to where they don't want to leave that event without signing up because there's a good deal and they're excited. Okay? Any questions on that? Okay, last thing, be sharing about people's experience making money. Okay, it will be very easy to fall into events being just about products. Okay, because they're going to sample products. Now, you want to have products there to sample. That's really important. You still want to very much focus on the business. So, the way that you do that is you counteract the samples with testimonies of the business, okay? If you have gone builder, you have a testimony with Q Sciences. You've made $150. Congratulations. If you have gone pro with Q Sciences, you have a testimony. You guys, I know we hear these crazy stories all the time of people who are making $15,000 a month, $25,000 a month, $120,000 a month. Those are not the only testimonies that count. In fact, sometimes those testimonies actually don't work as well because people think it's freaking monopoly money. But if you tell them you made $150 or you've made $300, people are like, huh? Rachel knows. I don't know if she's on here tonight. Rachel was having a conversation with someone today. She literally told them that she made $150 and that person wrote back, wow, that's awesome, right? People are going to be swayed by the business if you are talking about the business. So make sure you have testimonies. If you're teaming up, right? The event that we're doing on the 24th, my brain is mush. I'm going to have people share their stories. You best believe I'm going to be shouting out people who have hit executive. We have a bunch of local executives, shouting out people who are already pro, people who went builder in their first couple of days. Am I going to talk about myself making a base pay of $4,000? Of course. But am I going to really focus on people who have made $750 in their first month? Yeah. Yep. Because people are like, wait, they made $750 in 30 days? That's a lot of money. So make sure you're focusing on business testimonies. If you are throwing an event and you don't have any big, when I say big, I mean you don't have an elite and above. If you're hosting an event and you don't have anybody who is elite and above, tag in an upline. Okay. An example of this would be if you're on Marissa's team and you're not local to Marissa, you live far away and you're throwing an event and the only people you have there are people who are like executives. Share your story, but have Marissa zoom in and share her story. Have me zoom in and share my story. Have Casey zoom in and share her story. We can divide and conquer to always have someone be available for you. You guys, I hope you know you almost always have some form of an upline available. One of us is always available for you. So if you need a big hitter to be in there to sway people, let us know, dial us in on Zoom, and we can share our testimony of us making a base pay of $1,700 or $4,000 or $15,000 a month at your event. But you need to be focusing on the income of things. You want people to be ambassadors because guess what? People who sign up as ambassadors are going to help you at your next event. Okay. The other thing that you want to do, people who sign up with you have, but willing to travel. Oh, Monique, you're so sweet. Oh, I'm missing a whole conversation, I guess. Sorry. I just saw Monique's comment. So if you, guys, I just lost my whole train of thought. I don't know where it went. I'm going to be honest. Anyways, I don't really know what I was saying at that point, but end by leading into another event. Okay, so if you have an event, let's talk about a big 50-person event that I'm coming out to. Okay, so we're gonna have a big event and I'm flying out and I'm coming out to do a presentation. I'm gonna close that event leading into your next event. Okay, so if we're saying we have 5 people and they sign up from your event, on Sunday when you're launching them, or if you have a small event, you can launch people that same night. People who sign up, launch them. But whoever signs up at your event, if I'm there or not, you need to be live launching people. You're going to lead into the next event that they can start inviting their friends and family to. Okay. So we have an event, 5 people sign up and we're launching them. We're saying awesome. And you know what's so cool? That event that you just came to, we're going to do that same thing 2 weeks from now. So let's start reaching out to your friends and family members and get them invited to this event. Now, in the meantime, within those next 2 weeks, you're going to have live opportunity calls on Facebook, or not Facebook, on Zoom. There's going to be events that you can plug people into. People are going to be signing up in between those 2 weeks. And so you're going to have even more. And these events are going to double and double and double and double and double. But we have to start at step 1. So if we don't start at step 1, we're never getting to step 4. And if we don't get to step 4, we're never getting to a giant, huge regional, right? So we have to start at step 1. Any questions at all? Okay, So recapping, we are going to have everybody be in step 1 by the end of this month, identifying their local team. If you don't have a local team, you're going to make a coffee date or a park date or something with someone local. Okay, that's everybody's to do. Step outside your comfort zone. I'm going to be totally honest. Casey loves in person things, and you would think that I would because I'm a total promoter and a huge Enneagram 3, and I love people. I freaking hate in person events like this. They make me so uncomfortable. I like being safe behind my keyboard where I can retype what I want to say 17 times. I don't like being on the spot where I know I'm going to mess up and stumble over my words and forget my train of thought. I don't like events. I'm going to be real. Retreats, whole nother story. Y'all already signed up. You're already stuck with me. People who have not signed up yet, it's not the business for me. I'm going to be honest. But I'm going to do it anyways because there's been many people who make a lot more money than me telling me that that's how I'm going to get to their level. Okay. So just being real with you guys, we're stepping outside our comfort zone doing this. If this is making you pee your pants a little bit, welcome. Same. Brittany told me today I'm probably going to be talking at our big, massive regional that she's planning, and I wanted to crawl into a hole. Like, really. So, if meeting someone for coffee makes you want to pee your pants, wear a diaper because we're going to do it. Okay? We're going to do it anyways. That's how we're going to grow our business. If I can make $25,000 a month, your girl will wear a diaper every dang day. Okay? That's a lot of money. Pampers is just going to sponsor me. Seriously, we're going to do it anyways. So I want zero excuses. If you're watching this on replay, you don't get an out. You're still going to make some kind of an in-person date, coffee date, plan an event. If you have a local team, please start a local chat on Telegram. Love you. Please start a local chat on Telegram and start planning for an event in May. Okay? Team up. If you need help, let me know. If you need to put me in that chat, even though I'm not going to be at the event, that's fine. Whatever you need help with, you're probably going to have the person who's the highest up planning this, and we're going to delegate. Okay. It's okay to delegate and tell people what to do. And it's okay if someone is delegating you, telling you what to do. Okay. We are going to have to team up and work together. Group events are like group projects. And I was never a fan of those, but we're going to do it anyways. Okay. Because the goal is to make money. And that's what we want to do. So, with that, I really have nothing else to tell you. This was very discombobulated. I apologize. And I'm excited. I want you guys to be in the team chat telling me what you're doing. Like when you have an event planned, tell us that you have an event planned. I know Karina was already telling me about Feather Falls something something. I don't know what it is. She knows. She knows. She was like, we can rent it out. Like, plan stuff like that. Let's get excited. I want to know what you guys are doing. Like, even if your in person event is meeting somebody for coffee, get in your team chat and tell us that you're doing it because one person is going to start the momentum wave and we're all going to start doing it. And we're going to see this massive explosion of our business. And I'm hyped for it. Please be in these team chats. Shouting yourself out, brag on yourself, brag on other people. I feel like our team chats have been so quiet and I've been missing all of you guys. Tell me what you're doing every day. I'm so excited to hear about it. And I personally am like really hyped to get a lot of airline miles flying out to all of you. So please start getting these 50 plus people events so I can come stay with you and bother you for 3 days. Okay, that's it. That's officially all I have. Unless anyone has questions, but I have a full plate of tacos sitting next to me and it's really distracting. All right. Okay, you guys, I recorded this, so I'll drop it into the little team chats once I upload it. Goodbye. I'm excited.